Tales of a Survivor is to show that highlights individuals that have survived abuse and focusing on the steps that they have taken to gain their life back. By sharing these stories, people that are suffering, that are going through abuse in silence, because a lot of times we don't want to share. So I want to show them that there is a way out. They could relate to whoever's telling their story and their survivor that is on the screen. I'm Giselle Bria. Watch Tales of a Survivor on Channel 70, only on BronxNet. Good afternoon, and welcome to Tales of a Survivor, a talk show that highlights individuals that have overcome abuse and the steps that they've taken to get their life back. The purpose of the show is not only to bring awareness, but also inspire those that are living in abuse in silence. We hope that you can mirror yourself in some of the stories that will be shared and find the strength from within to say no more. I want to tell you a little bit about the GNM Project. The GNM Project, Tales of a Survivor, and all the projects that I have as well, it's about giving to the community. I want to connect with you, and I want you to connect with us as well. Please go into our website, thegnmproject.org. In this particular website, there is an open forum where you can anonymously post anything that you might be going through and just vent. Sometimes we just need someone to listen to us. Sometimes we're consumed by what we're going through. You can also look us up on Facebook, the GNM Project, and on Instagram as well, the GNM Project. Reach out to us. If you need to email me for anything and you want to be a guest or part of our studio audience, email me at ggb235@gmail.com, or you could use our organization email, the GNM Project at Gmail. Don't forget, we are here for you. We are here to serve the community. Now, today in the studio joining us is Kevin Megget, an employment specialist, and we are so honored to have him as he's our first male guest. This is a show for you dads, the single dads out there, as we will be talking about child support and homelessness. Kevin Megget works for the Black Veterans for Social Justice. Now, just because it said Black veterans, it doesn't mean that only serve the Black community. We are serving the community as one in its entirety, and that's what it's all about. I'm going to take you to the studio. I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching.
If I started working at a corporation or a company and I was only earning $10 an hour, and 2 years later I'm only still earning $10 an hour, that cost of living adjustment could be detrimental to my cost of living. So then the courts would, you would petition the court, of course, and they would take that into consideration, and usually it won't go up. It's these little things like this, you don't know. A lot of us don't know. So, we just take it, especially men, we just take it and, okay, that's what it is,
Okay, yeah, we don't fight. Some of the times we don't fight back. Now, when we was talking about something, when it was something that really caught my attention. You said that the courts, when you go into child support, and as a mother, if I take you to child support, you automatically on the rears?
Okay, so
okay. Break it down for me.
What it is from the time you take me for child support, so today is what, March 11th? Okay, say you take me, you go to child support today, March 11th, and we don't get to see a judge until April 5th. I'm already in arrears from the time
that I apply.
From the time you applied. You understand what I'm
yes,
saying?
Yes, yes.
It's automatically considered.
I do have a child support.
Yeah. So it's automatically assumed that you're in an arrears. Usually the same thing applies when you go for an upward modification. The day you apply is the day that arrears would start or it's retroactive from the time of the application. So usually when you hear men saying they get frustrated going into child support because their objective is like, I'm automatically I'm walking into debt, and that's basically
right.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the harsh reality of it. However, it works upstream and downstream because I too am have a child support order, and they're my children's mom. She pays child support, so same thing holds true for her.
Is it harder? Because I know, just so you know, Nini Ali, he is the father for Nini Ali, a young woman that I admire very, very much. And I
Thanks.
must say, job well done on that.
Thank you very much.
Now, let me ask you, as a single father, was it hard for you to get custody of the kids?
Yes, very much so. And I don't want to disillusion anyone. Where I was able to obtain custody was because my children's mother wasn't just my children's mother. She was my wife. So I married her. And when we split, I had the children. So there was no order in place.
Okay.
There was no custody order in place.
Okay, so it was something amicable.
Right. It was when I split, the children were with me. So, possession is 9/10 of the law. She had to get custody of the children from me. And had I not been married, excuse me, had I not been married, and I like to always put an emphasis on this, I believe a judge would be like, would you give that woman her children back? So I think the real difference that it makes is sometimes like just being married, then it becomes community property, not to call children property, but
yeah,
it's
that's how
community
it's,
property.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
understand.
I think had I not been married, the roles would have been sort of reversed. What's very fortunate now is that we sort of have like a partnership in Random. I mean, she sees them every other weekend and, special occasions.
You're co-parenting.
Right, we're co-parenting.
Now, let me ask you something.
But it wasn't always like that in the
And
beginning.
listen, at the beginning, it's always bitterness.
Sure.
In either part,
Right. Sure.
And my husband is vouched for that about my ex.
Right.
I was never bitter. It was I don't want to, deprive my son for
Sure.
his right
Right.
to be with his father. I'm not that type of person. Now let me ask you something. Let's say you want to move out of state. I want to move out of state. We have a child incoming. I want to move out of state. And I'm moving with a guy that you don't really like, you don't think is suitable, for whatever the case may be. Can you stop me from moving with your child? Now with your child, yes, you have visitation rights. Yes, you're gonna see it, but can I move out of state with a man that you have no idea who it is? Or
Yes and no.
okay,
And how I like to how I would like to phrase this is going through child support is like a game of chess. Don't go there playing checkers. Okay? You moving strategically. And your next move could be very critical. So, with that said, if you're moving out of state and you moving from, say, an apartment to a house, job maybe that was paying 10,000, you're going from a job that was paying 10,000 less to now a job that's paying 10,000 more, and you can prove that the cost of living has gone up, or the cost of living, or is a better quality of living, there's a judge wouldn't block you from making that move. But they would put stipulations in place of when you would see that child. So obviously, if you're living in New York and I'm living in New York, chances are I'm going to see my child every other weekend.
Correct.
Now, if you move to Florida or Texas or somewhere like that, it's impossible now to see the child every other weekend. So you have to modify the
The
visitation order.
rights. Okay.
And you have to kind of do something that's fair. But it still has to, you still can't just pick up and go without going through the court system if there's a petition in place.
Okay, so if you, in order for, let's say all this time you've been doing something amicable, like I give you the money and we okay, but now I'm telling you I'm moving, so you will suggest for a man to go to court,
Yes.
to take that order to court, do the visitation right and do everything through court, no amicable, because now I don't want you to leave, you don't want me to leave, but I want to leave. So when there's not a meeting of the mind,
It's gonna.
it's the best to take it to court.
It's just in your best interest to go to court at that
So
time.
is it better if the man takes the woman to court or for him to wait for the woman
What
to take
I've
to the
what
court?
I've learned is usually the person that, and it's not always. I think it just ended up working for me. The person that files first always seems to get in favor. Seems to
Yes,
be in favor.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Not always, because I have a friend that had done everything by the book to get his daughter, and and he filed first, and he lost his case. But I mean,
But you have to prove that she's unfit, though.
Right.
If you can prove that, no judge is gonna take a child away from
From
you.
the mother.
No,
But
you have to prove that.
what's weird is that a father I think they diminish the role of a father and the importance
In many
of a
ways.
father, because
I agree.
and I'm not on your show to blow my own horn, but both of both of my girls are about to finish college. Nini's getting ready to finish college. She's only 18 years old. I did something right.
You better believe it.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of their friends are pregnant. My oldest daughter, she's like, I am not having children until I'm 30. I'm gonna
She's
travel.
following my daughter's lead. She's
I'm-
26. That's her. Listen, no.
It's like
no
I'm gonna
kids for
see the
me.
world. I want to do things. I want to enjoy
The right way.
I want to enjoy my youth. So that's the importance of a father. Those issues are what the courts don't see. So I wish that the courts would kind of like re-examine the role of the father, but it seems as if
And also some mothers, to be honest.
Right.
Because, a lot of mothers, and when the relationship doesn't go the right way,
Sure.
and they have the woman, and now the man has a new girl, the bitterness. Oh, you're not going to see the kid if you don't do me this, if you don't do that. And we only really hurting our child. So please, if you out there listening to me,
Child's in the middle.
your child is stuck in the middle. That's the reason why I did this. And because you go through everything and he's stuck, whether it's the arguments and everything, and he's a human being, man.
Sure. And
And it will affect him psychologically and everything.
now my ex-wife remarried.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. You want to hear something really funny?
Go ahead.
I like him more than I like her.
Are you kidding me?
Seriously.
No way.
No, really, yeah. I like him more than I like her. But I'm also like, no backsies. You don't think you giving her back to me. That's yours, bro.
But that is his now.
That's it. Yeah, that's your headache.
Oh, you so mean. We're not headaches. We really are. Well, some of us.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's a hormone thing, I guess. Now, let me ask you something. Let me just go over a few points. I'm sorry. Go to court first. Try to file first. Make everything via court, which it will be best. When you go to court, don't play checkup. Be ready to play chess.
And I'm going to tell you why you want to kind of go through court. It's very unfortunate because what we do is we let the court system define what family is. That's the
Yes.
very unfortunate, but it's the God's honest truth. This is where we're at now as a society. The reason you want to go to court is because you don't want to just pay the mom and 2 years later, 3 years later, it goes sour and she goes to child support and she's taking you, and you're going to be responsible for those payments from the time that child was born. So now you're 2 years in an arrears, probably unjustifiably so. Whereas if you had handled it in the beginning, you wouldn't have been in arrears.
You know what? It's a funny thing that you say that, because when I went to court for my son, I had to, because we couldn't do it. We couldn't meet. I wasn't asking for much, and even that was a hassle. And I said, okay. So when I went to court, the court asked him for double of what I was asking based on his salary. And he had money orders, because he was giving me money orders for the time being. And when he showed the money orders to the court,
They said it was a gift?
that's right.
Yeah.
The court said, that's a gift.
Yeah.
Unless there's a court order,
And it's wrong.
it's a gift. And no, and let me tell you something.
It's wrong.
And I agree. And let me tell you, they said that
And
he
I'm a
owed me
parent
few
that's
thousand.
collecting. I'm a parent that's collecting.
And
And
it's
I'm
wrong.
saying it's wrong.
I'm collecting. I thought it was wrong. They said that he owed me $5,000 and some odd dollars. And do you want? I was like, listen, I don't care for that. My son is here. He has been okay. But you know what? Not a lot of mothers will do that. And that is that. And not a lot of mothers will use the child support for where it's going. I mean, let's be real.
And but it's really, we have power. We honestly, men don't know the power that we have. It's not as if the system is against us. We don't know how to organize against the system. Now, and I'll give you I'll give you a classic example. There's some brothers that got together. I think it was in, if I'm not mistaken, Massachusetts, somewhere in Massachusetts, and they got together and they petitioned child support to say, hey, I want a monthly itemized bill of how my money is being spent.
And can you do that?
If you there's enough of you, there's power, there's
Oh,
strength in
unity,
numbers.
and unity is
There's
power.
strength in numbers.
But now, and let's say a regular Joe, if you suspect that your baby's mother is not spending the money on your child, is not doing the right thing, can you, as a regular Joe, could go to the court and ask for her to give an itemized?
You can go to the court and they have to hear you ask for an itemized. They don't necessarily have to
Grant it?
but they have to hear it. So you have the power of hearing it. And they say, oh, no, well.
And you got to bring facts as well.
Right. I mean, like, again, you're not playing checkers, you're playing chess. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you gotta go there with your A game really tight. Your I's gotta be dotted, your T's gotta be crossed. But there's nothing to say. They have to listen to when you put in a petition, they have to listen to it. They don't have to agree with it, but they have to listen to it. However, you have the ability to always appeal what is being said. And what's very important, and this is what a lot of men and women that are, people that have to pay child support, what they don't really understand, I like to say a lot, really, for my brothers, is what they don't realize is that child support is funded by the federal government.
Okay.
So now child support has to, they have to show that they need to be refunded. So there's a lot of times where you will get an order that's just not fair. You're like, this is just not just. It's not a fair order. That's child support justifying, look, they have to write a certain amount of orders to be refunded by the federal government. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whether it's fair or not, we say, this is what we wrote. The problem is we don't challenge it, we just take it. So usually you have an order that'll come down and you could say, they'll say you have 30 days to appeal it. We could sit down and write our status on Facebook, write an appeal if you think it's not just, because they want to hear it. And chances are, if you write it well enough, you'll get it overturned.
Oh, that's good news. That's really good information.
You have to know the system. You have to know the system. And you're already in it, whether you want to be in it or not. You're in it now, so you might as well know everything that you need to know about that system so you can articulate it and you can know where your money's going. You have anything. If I bought a brand new car, if I bought a car from you, you're going to give me a receipt, right?
Of course.
So if I'm giving you money every month, I should have a receipt of where my money's going.
No, but don't go crazy. You single parents over there listening, say, no, you're supposed to go to haircuts and for shoes. No. Also, that money is go for food.
Right.
And it goes also for the shelter.
Sure.
It's going to help with the expenses.
They could go to the movies. Because you have to have entertainment.
As well.
But you want to know where is it going?
Yeah, but no, because, a lot of them are going to be like, oh, she got this. I want to know if it was my child support money. No. Right. You have to make sure that you have to understand cable, rent, everything that your son exercise, it is something that is going to go. Now, I know we have 5 minutes.
Okay.
But on those child supports, towards the end in the credits, please, we're going to give his information. So in case you don't have any questions for him when it comes to child support. But I want to touch on the homelessness for veterans.
Okay.
Now, tell me, how can you help a person that is a veteran or non-veteran that you could also help as well? That they're homeless. What are the qualifications in order for you to help them get a job? Or
well, I work for I'm an employment specialist for HVRP1, which stands for Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program. And what it is that a lot of veterans, I'm a veteran, by the way, United States Navy.
Serving.
Thank you. I'm a veteran of the United States Navy, and I went through a time or a period where I could not find a decent job. I just couldn't. At one time I was working 2 jobs. I was working at New York City off-track betting. Anyone that knows anything about New York City off-track betting knows it went under. It bust. I don't know how.
What was that? That was the OTB?
OTB. I don't know how.
I saw many, but I don't know. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know how a $1 billion a year corporation goes belly up, but that's neither here nor there. And I was working for a very prestigious bank. I was working 2 jobs simultaneously, and earning really, really good too. And I simultaneously lost both jobs, and went into a state of employment depression. I was unemployed, depressed, because I couldn't find a job. And it was actually me going around with my daughter, and she met a guy in Brooklyn who, his name is Jelani, who referred me to Black Veterans for Social Justice. And I went there, and I was like, wow, I was just amazed that they had something like this for veterans. All these different programs. And I would go there like every day. It was like that was my new place of business. Went there so much that they hired me.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's good. So, and now you're helping others, and
I'm helping other veterans.
What is it? What are the qualifications? If we're running out of time.
Okay, the criteria
is. The criteria.
You have to be homeless. You have to be unemployed. At that point, I'm able to find you housing, and I want to, just for all of the listeners out there, homeless is vague. If you are living with mommy and you're not on her lease, technically you're homeless. So you actually qualify. I can get you your own apartment. I will get you a good paying job, and then there's plenty of different programs that are available. We also have a program called JTBO, which is Jobs to Build On. And the only qualification for that is you have to be 18 years old and a resident of the 5 boroughs. And they still help you find gainful employment.
Kevin, I think I'm going to have to bring you another time because let me tell you, you have been very informative. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next time. I hope you enjoy the show. It's all about bringing awareness. Don't forget, please love yourself. Everything In order for everything to coexist, you first have to exist. Now, let me take you to La Nena with our segment, Tips of a Survival. See you next time.
Yo, this is La Nena from the GNM Project, and today with La Nena Survival Tips. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to fight, and we in this time that we get angry real fast. Anger could get us in trouble. Let's say you see 10 people there, and you're by yourself, or you're maybe one more person. Okay, do you really think you can fight them people? A lot of people get angry, they do stupid things, they react real fast. Anger takes the best of you. Anger don't let you think. Anger just reacts. No, if you really think, you be like, no, I'm not gonna fight those 10 people. That make no sense. You can't win if you really come to see and think real good. Take care of yourself. Nobody else will. Don't get yourself in a situation that you're gonna get either locked up or killed for. We have to take care of ourselves. Nobody else, believe me, nobody cares about you no more. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna try to help you no more. People are running away. People are trying to save themselves. So save yourself. Okay? So don't put yourself in situations where you can get hurt. It don't mean you're a punk. It don't mean you're a punk. It means that you're smart and you're trying to save yourself. See, them people, they're too fast to react. Those people you want to be around with, those people you want to keep away. They're not people you need to be around with. People that make your blood pressure go up, you don't need to be around them people neither. Okay, let's just make this world a better place, man. And remember, y'all, if you see a gun, run. Ain't no reason for you to try to fight nobody with a gun, honestly. Remember, God is good all the time. Even when you're bad, God is good. Let's take care of ourselves.